All right, this your boy, keeping it 100, Marcus Aurelius, and as you can see from the title, we about to address this issue of twerking on glass. This is part two because I did part one on Facebook, but I had to bring this to the tube, and who else, but to get to come down on this with me, but my man, the Green Gorilla. You
What's
know what I'm
up?
saying?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
you know, Mr. Green Gorilla, who, he does his thing, and I've been on his situation, and usually when he gets on, he has the whole intro. So, I got the dun 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 dun, dun to keep it 100 show with the Green Gorilla. And now,
Man,
la 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 la. And I ain't got all the
the theatrics and
I ain't got the theatrics yet. You know what I'm saying? Theatrics is coming. You know what I'm saying? But my man does a whole show over there. You know what I mean? So my shit's simple.
I
But we
do.
gonna
Hey,
get to we
I
gonna
do what I
get to it.
can when I can do it.
Yeah, I do what I can when I can when I can. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
dig. So for the people who missed me on Facebook, actually, what we're talking about, I think a lot of you probably have seen this by now. We're speaking on the incident that happened in Dallas, Texas. Now you're down there, right?
Not in Dallas. I'm in H Town area. You feel me?
Okay, but you're in the state.
I'm in Texas, the big state of Texas,
Yeah. Okay. All
the
right. All
big
right.
the big fiasco of Texas.
No doubt. So dig, people. So hey, what's going on, Adam? What's going on, Adam? We see you. So this is the thing, right? So you had this situation where you got this guy, this black man. He owns a high end black, eatery, restaurant, whatever have you, right? So in his high end situation, he plays black music, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Usually we eat at these other places. It's like you eat at Sal's Pizza. He got Italian Americans on the wall because he's Italian American, right? So he
True, true.
does what he does in his environment. That's his spot. Bugging out comes in and say, "Hey, man, how about some black people up on the wall?" And he says, "Hey, look, you open up your own eatery, and you can put whoever you want on the wall, right?"
That's right.
So
That's
this is
right.
a black man. So in his establishment, he plays music that he wants to hear. You know what I'm saying? He plays music that he wants to hear, right?
Yes, yes.
So he might got some hip hop playing, whatever, some crunk music, because he's creating an environment for his people. Started a business in his community for his people to serve his people, right? So you got a group of women, and I'm sure this guy has been running this place for a long time, and he's been playing this music for a long time. You know what I mean? I don't know how long, but I know this wasn't his grand opening.
Right, right,
So I'm sure that there has been other times that he's been rocking this music,
right.
and he's had, like he said, 80+% black women in his establishment.
Mm.
So here we come. Fast forward to a situation where he has a small group of black women, because it wasn't the whole place, but he has a small group of black women who decided, upon hearing this music, that they were going to twerk in the restaurant, right? But not only
Yeah.
did they twerk, they decided to climb up on furniture.
No, see. The first thing is, look. Let me just say this shit.
Yeah, jump on there,
Let
bro.
me let me let me just keep it 100 with you, right?
Yeah, keep
Okay,
it
I know
100.
that's your name, but
Let's keep it
you ain't the
100.
first person to coin the phrase, but
Let's keep it 100. Yes, sir.
but at the same time, man, let's this nigga. I don't condone motherfuckers putting their feet on my coffee table, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you come to my house, man. Now if it's an ottoman or something like that, go ahead and put your feet on it. But you're not about to start standing on tables, and violating the atmosphere. But yeah. So they did that. But that's where they were wrong to begin with. And now there's this conversation going on Facebook about maybe I need to rethink my ideals about the sofas and the couches and shit. So now you got niggas making amends. Maybe I need to rethink, the idea about the sofa. Motherfucker, it was your granny that had the idea to begin with.
So
She the one with the plastic on the couch and shit. You can't even go in the room.
So look, let me finish telling them though. So boom, so he's playing the music, and of course, they start doing what they doing, right? So my man politely asked him, "Could you stop? Could you please stop?" Mind you, this is a proprietor of an establishment, the boss, the owner,
right?
Coming to tell grown folk, "Yo, can you not do that? Can you?"
So
how
old were these grown folks, man?
They were above 21. That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. What I'm saying is, so you got this man approach these women, and he approached them at first in a respectful fashion, but what eventually happened was they ignored it. He requested again. They ignored it.
Yeah.
So then it got to a point where my man was like, "Okay, enough is enough." And he said what he said. He said what he said. Now,
what did he say? What did he say?
He said, and I can pull it up. He basically said, I invested a lot of money in this place to give us, meaning black folks, a nice place to eat, and have dinners and whatever the case. And he invested his money, and he wants a certain level of class or decorum in the place or whatever the case may be, right? Yeah. And pretty much it ended with if I ask you guys to chill, and if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out.
As he should have said.
Yeah. As he should have said, and I would have said worse.
But yeah, I'd have told him, I'd have said, "Man, look, get your funky ass off my shit, bitch," and told him to get the fuck on out. I'm serious. That's what I would have said. So, I'm just gonna keep it real. Like I hate to say that, but I'm toxic, man. I don't have any. I have no reservations about telling a person what the fuck is real in a situation like that. And look, people are too nice nowadays, man. That's how I see it.
No. Listen, check it out though. Check it out. See, I want to point some things out here, right? So he said that. And what's happening is they're making his response to the disrespect bigger than the initial disrespect. And this is kind of like the whole Gayle King, Kobe Bryant shit, right? Where when we respond to disrespect from black women, we have to respond to it in a, gloves on, respectful manner, or we will be accused of, misogynoir and hating black women and things like that. So like this man in his own establishment, his own business that he built with his own blood, sweat, tears, and his own hands, he does not have the authority to tell these women how to conduct themselves within the walls of his own shit.
Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, look, who I don't know who's. Give me some names. Who's saying this?
So we about to get into all that. So now I have to give credit to many of the women on my personal timeline on social media that they wasn't with it. But I encountered not only just women, but a couple men.
Let me out. Let me out.
That felt like, oh, this is disrespecting it. Like he could have came at them better, and he should have been a professional. And what, you understand what I'm saying? And Adam, you're right on point with this is really about the lack of respect for any black male authority figure. And what you're saying from the average black Oh, from average black women. Yeah. So any black male authority figure, it wouldn't matter if you was a regular dude or a celebrity.
Hey
We
man, this
will.
whole idea that black women can't be checked for fuckery is ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
If they on some fuckery,
Mm-hmm.
if they're outside of the realm of good taste, somebody needs to tell them you're outside of the realm of good taste. Nobody's policing your body. You can go twerk, but you can't twerk in this bitch.
Yeah.
You can go twerk all outside. You can put them on the glass like Sir Mix-a-Lot outside.
But not on my glass.
Not in my glass in my establishment. It's kids and shit probably up in here. You understand what I'm saying? It's a point, and I don't, man. Look, at some point, black men have to stop giving a fuck about these women and their policing, their moral policing.
Now,
It's restrictive.
but it's deeper than that. It's, if it was just them, it'd be one thing. But it's the simps. The thing is, what's happening? What's happening here is because we all know that if this was a black woman's business and it was men in there acting up,
Oh, it'd have been a whole bunch of
very different.
toxic masculinity.
It would be very different. The tone would be very different. All right. So right now, you got a bunch of dudes and women giving these women a pass because they're blaming the owner for playing certain music.
He played the jungle music, so they couldn't help but twitch their ass.
Couldn't help but twerk. What we're also going through is the twerk as some sort of defiant protest, action, right? That's what twerking bullshit, is becoming.
Man, come on, man. Like,
now what black women, what they're doing is twerking in the face of any sort of authority or anything like that, right? So you got girls twerking at the protest. You got Lizzo twerking to protest her Airbnb eviction. It's like,
man, come on, man. Stop
it's
it,
like
man.
they're doing these things in some sort of like this rebellious twerk trend that's going on. So in the face of any authority or quote unquote black male patriarchy, we gonna shake our ass in your face.
Okay, well,
you know what I'm saying? So like I said, lack of respect for male authority and male business ownership. Oh, you want to say names? I mean, we can go into it. We could talk about Chris Marshall.
Okay.
We he's like Final Boss Hotep on Facebook.
Yeah. Okay.
Final.
What did he say? What did he say specifically?
What did he say? What did he say?
Yeah, what did he say, man?
What did he say? My man ran the gamut from, I could pull up some of his posts.
Because I don't want to attack him personally. I just want to attack what he said.
Oh, of course.
I want to examine what he said.
It don't matter. It don't matter to me either way, right? But it ran the gamut from, you hate black women to you hate black people to, you know what I'm saying? Like all of this sorts of things, right? So let me pull up. So he compared everything that I was saying to Bill Cosby's pound cake speech.
Oh wow.
So he says, if you play twerk music in a restaurant with a DJ, I expect twerking. Right? So that was his original post. So I said, okay, so do you expect twerking with someone climbing on your furniture? If this was your establishment, would you expect women to climb on your chairs and lean up against your glass and twerk?
Man, that nigga, man, I'm telling you right now. If he's saying those kind of things, he's saying that shit because he got a woman. And he's trying to please her or some shit like that.
We know that he has a woman, and his woman
he's trying to please her with that bullshit, man. Like, she probably talking that fucking pro-fem talk. And, look, this is the bad part of black nationalism, because it's beginning to echo the kind of responses that you're going to get from feminists. And, look, I don't have a problem with women asserting their authority in their own spaces and, trying to, resist what they perceive to be their forms, forms of oppression that are unique to them. But I mean, come on, man. Every case is different. Look, if I play Biggie Smalls in a pizza joint that I own, I don't expect for niggas to start breaking out pistols and dice and shit and
Of
start
course
rolling
not.
blunts. You know what I'm saying? I just like it's some shit that you do and don't do in certain places, man. And I
See,
don't, like this. Come on, man.
see,
Like we huh?
a point that one of my guys made is like, okay, so if they played Knuck If You Buck, is that a cue to tear the place apart?
Of course not.
Of
You
course not.
can, but see, this is my thing. This is what this
Mm-hmm.
man should have had. He should have had a security team there, and as soon as they start doing that shit, he should have kindly said, "Look, I'm gonna give you one chance to clean yourself up, but we don't move like that in this establishment." And if they did it again, I'd have had their ass ousted. Bye bye. Take your
Okay,
money and
so
get your shit and get the fuck up on out of here. You can twerk elsewhere. That's
so
what
now
I
I
would have
got it.
done.
I got his points pulled up, right? So see, this is the other problem that I have with this, right?
Okay.
Is that and me and you have discussed this type of thing before, right?
Right.
And I see what Adam is saying. Adam is saying, he's talking about the cops. Let me pull his comment up. He said, remember you had some twerking at cops at protests. Yeah. Just
Which is
proof
absolutely
that,
ridiculous and
yeah,
stupid.
that's just proof that,
Ineffective, nonsensical nothingness.
yeah, it's proof
That's
that
like nanny, nanny, nanny. That's all that shit is.
it's just
It's nanny,
reckless,
nanny,
just
nanny. That's what it
rebellion,
is. It's
right?
nothing.
So you don't need a context or pretext for twerking. They will do it anywhere, right? So check this out. Check this out, G. So I basically told him, he was on some simp shit, right? And pretty much that the owner had, cause to ask them to stop because he could face liabilities. Let's say if they hurt themselves, fall through glass, whatever the case may be. None of this is good enough, right? But then he tries to make the argument that asking them to behave in this higher end establishment is trying to be white adjacent. Okay, so the problem that I have with that, and again, we've had these discussions or this sort of discussion before, is where we make civilized behavior synonymous with being non-black, or in this case, white. So he says, I don't expect black people to be condemned for partying. That shit is absurd. And then he also says, you want us to follow their rules, even in a black business, we got to become them. And my response to that was just an LOL, because,
Let
what
me
you're,
go to your house. Then ask this. Hey, then tell Chris this. This is to be honest. Okay, Chris. So some niggas in your house, right? Fuck it. We gonna start rolling dice and smoking blunts in that bitch. Invite me over.
no,
No, I'm just saying, like, if he feels
of
that way,
course.
then anything that goes on in the house of his, motherfuckers start twerking in his house, ain't shit he gonna do about it. Niggas start
No, but
rolling
then
dice, smoking blunts, getting nice in the crib, ain't shit he gonna do about it. It's his rules. That's the way he
is
thinks.
any
Come on, man.
no
He knows that's some bullshit.
check
He
this
knows
check
it
this
is.
out. Check this out. You know me. So you know that any response you're gonna think of to tell me, this was last night, by the way. Any
Right.
response you're gonna think of to tell me, I threw it at him. This was, me, my comment section be long, right?
Yeah, I
So
know that shit.
yeah, so I said, because we talking about being civilized. I said, he's talking about we gotta be like them, meaning be like white people. I said, so hold up. I thought civilization was a black invention. So
You
no, I
think
don't expect.
Egyptians was twerking and shit? Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't.
seriously, in the temple, you know what
I
I'm
don't
saying? You think
expect.
Egyptians was twerking in the temple of On,
I don't
or
expect.
they was shaking their ass in
I
the
don't
temple of
expect
Ptah?
us.
I mean, like, let's be honest about this, man. You think they was in the whole? You think they was in the because the Egyptians, the Ethiopians is what the Greek called them. The Greeks called them. They were known to be among the most pious people in the entirety of the Mediterranean so-called, civilizational world.
Of course.
So I mean, these people were blessed, considered to be blessed by the gods and the most pious of people. So you mean to tell me that like a person like Ben Yakinen, John Henry Clark, Chiek Anta Diop would condone a group of black women just going all of a sudden and twerking and shit inside of a restaurant where it's women and children and other people in there and men.
But dig this.
Come on now, let's just be
It's
honest
not.
about
But
this, man.
but
We got to
but,
talk
but let's go.
honestly
No,
about this.
let's go past that though. Let's go past that. And this is again the root of the matter. It's like we are making synonymous civilized behavior with being white. And what does that what I mean when I say that is, what does that say about our own self-image, about of what, not only us but our own culture? That if you're saying going to a restaurant, especially a high-end restaurant, and sitting down and eating your food without climbing on furniture to shake your ass in the air, if a request for that behavior to end means that you're bougie, or that you're white adjacent, or that you aspire to whiteness or proximity to whiteness, that says very negative things about black people and black culture. And this has nothing to do with any presence of white men, or any actions on their part. This is all about just black people in a black space. You understand what I'm saying? This
Yeah, I
this
get it.
this
I get it.
incident is devoid of white participation. You understand what I'm saying?
I get
It's
it. I get it.
devoid of white participation. So for him to say, sitting on your ass to eat in a restaurant is trying to be white. The fact that I don't want people climbing on my furniture in my business that I spent money to put together is trying to be white.
Yeah, he on some Goldie shit, man. I mean, I'm
What
just
what
being
what
honest,
message? Yeah, what message are we sending, man? What
man.
message are we sending?
Dude just trying to he's trying to be patriarchal, bro, and he's
Well, he's
doing it
trying to be
wrong.
matriarchal.
No, yeah, well, he's trying. I said he's trying. I didn't say he was actually achieving that aim. All I'm saying is, man, like I've look, no disrespect to the dude, man, whoever he is, man. God bless his soul, man. But I forgot, man. This guy really doesn't. I don't think
So let
really.
me let me let
Uh,
me let me I'm gonna read you another one of his comments. He says having a DJ and a nightclub atmosphere and telling people not to party is some Clayton Bigsby shit. Go off.
hold on. So having a nightclub atmosphere.
He's
What's a
he says
nightclub atmosphere? What's a nightclub atmosphere about
I,
it
I
though?
I
Like,
don't I don't know what that means, but I'll tell
cause
you
he
this,
playing
right?
black music. I mean, white people
Uh-huh.
play rock music and shit at they eateries.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they don't get up and stand on the chairs and shit.
Yeah. Nobody plays air guitar standing on the table.
I mean, not that white people are the standard of anything, but I'm just saying, come on, man.
Exactly. And
Look,
that came up in conversation. I'm gonna get to that in a second. So he says, I said, so again, party means jump on furniture. And I told him, I said, this is about black male authority. Y'all are mad that this man said something to these women. He talking about DJ club atmosphere. Let me tell you something, bro. I've been in over a dozen retail stores that had a DJ playing music, and hip hop music at that. Nobody stood on furniture to dance. Nobody stood on furniture to twerk. You know why? Because black people exhibit a different respect and energy when they're in white people's businesses that they do not express in black business. That's not a secret. That's not something we don't know. You understand what I'm saying? That's
I
that's
get it.
real. And a lot of people don't like how that sounds because,
You should
we want
invite that
to.
dude on, man. Have a conversation.
Oh, nah, for what?
Have like see where I mean, because it's sometimes things get lost in the translation.
He's not lost, bro. Not in translation. He's lost in his TWIG bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's lost. Listen, ain't nothing that me and you gonna say on this live, or if he joined in, that's gonna convert this motherfucker. He is black woman is God, because he eventually says, he says, if there was a God, it would be a black woman. I'm quoting him. Then he also said, oh, this ain't about furniture. I said, yeah, it's about some simp shit. You're a simp. So let me read you what this guy says. And I'm not talking about Chris. I'm talking about this is the restaurant owner. In response to the numerous comments and postings on social media, I will share a bit of detail associated with our guest twerking, being asked to stop being addressed, and asked to leave True Kitchen and Cocktails. While I would like to apologize to the patrons who are offended by my poor choice of wording, I think this full story and a bit of video may help you understand of the final straw, with guests addressed and asked to leave. When the first incidents occurred, the guests were politely asked to stop and have respect for themselves and other customers. The guests at issue were at 3 tables. As this video shows, you will see guests spoken to politely and literally begged to stop standing on our furniture and twerking. All right, there are other videos that show much more of the behavior in the following videos, but we do not want to embarrass the guests sitting at those tables. Later, as another video shows, a customer stood up on her seat, placed her hands against the glass windows, and began to twerk. My immediate reaction was this woman could fall through this window, and we could be the target of a lawsuit if she's injured. My second reaction was enough is enough. After already addressing this behavior twice, these customers no longer
Man, you can't
deserve.
even get up. Man, look, let me stop you, bro. You can't even do that shit in a nightclub, man.
You
You
can't
start
do
getting
it
up on.
anywhere.
You
Let me
can't
let me
you
tell
can't get
you.
up on furniture, man, and start twerking and shit, man, inside of a nightclub.
Check
Get
this out,
start
bro.
standing on tables in a nightclub other than a strip club. Other than a strip club, go stand on some night tables. I mean, or stand on the tables and shit, and start doing weird shit, and see
It's
how quickly
another
them
one of
bouncers
my
get your ass
responses.
out of the business,
I
huh?
told him that same thing. You know what his response to me was? And you're in Texas. He said that it is customary that people stand on furniture, not only in nightclubs, but in restaurants in Dallas. I said, you're lying. You're lying. I'm quoting him. He said that it is not unusual for people to stand on shit. I said, so in Dallas, people regularly stand on furniture and dance. He says,
Man, see, I don't live in Dallas, so I don't
I've
know,
been to
man. But
Dallas a few times. Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. Dallas does not have a black culture that is specific to them and nowhere else. Like, get the fuck
come on,
out of
man.
here, man.
Let's just be honest, man. Like, come on, man. Like, dude, come
This shit is
on,
indefensible.
come on, man.
Indefensible. They don't. There's no custom in Dallas where people stand on shit that doesn't exist in the rest of the U.S. If it was a thing, numerous people will come out and say, "Hey, this is normal down here. This is a Dallas thing. Mind your business." But since that didn't happen, and I know people in Dallas, and this man, he promotes himself as living in Ghana. So I don't understand. He's talking about Dallas. He's supposed to be in Ghana. So either you ain't in Ghana, or you're if you're not in Ghana, you're fake news. But fuck him. Let's back to this real topic of at this we're getting to the point in this culture. I don't want to say society. I gotta speak because again, the greatest society is the greatest society. But what we're talking about is our specific culture. There are no dominant group people in this story. There are no white folks in this story.
Yeah,
There's no white man to blame. There's no racist narrative to follow. This is some internal shit. And we have, and it's not just
This shouldn't
him.
even be a story, man. It's his store. It's his restaurant. It's their body, but their body resides in his restaurant. You can't do what you want to any and everywhere just because you got a vagina or a uterus. It's just not how it goes. It's not the world. You can't do whatever you want to do just because you're you. Yeah,
Now, of
nobody
course,
gets a pass. Nobody gets a pass. Man, woman, or child. You
but
can't do what the fuck you want to do whenever you're somewhere. You gotta abide by the rules, man. And
bigger
and
than
and
that.
look, you don't get on people's furniture and stand up on their shit in a fancy restaurant. You don't do that, man.
Of course not. But
You don't do
bigger
it,
than
man.
that.
You just and look.
I
If the
got you,
dude
sir.
wants to, defend black women and be a safe haven for hoes, man, go ahead and let him do that, bro. He can do
Bro,
that,
this
man.
is this the issue that I'm addressing here is the bigger issue because this is just another example. Because I've spoken to a couple of women I know, and they're trying to use the music as a fucking excuse. This is a bigger example of our culture that puts women above reproach. Above reproach. They cannot be challenged or checked, at least not by us. If this was a hair salon and it was a black woman checking these black women, it'd be no problem. If this was a black woman owned shit and it was black women checking black men, it'd be no problem. If this was a male owned thing with black men checking other black men, it would be no problem. But the fact that this man is checking women and they didn't like his tone, like they didn't like Snoop's tone toward Gayle King. You understand what I'm saying? We ought to
Yeah.
treat every woman like our mamas and
No, no,
aunties.
sir, no, sir.
You understand?
You don't treat
This
every
is
woman
this
like
is
your
the
mama, cause
narrative. This is the narrative. We ought to treat every woman like our mamas and aunties and whoever, and bow down with respect in the face of them violating us.
no, fuck that. No, sir. And fuck any man that thinks that. I don't give a fuck what he on. He could be on some Marcus Garvey. He could be on Nat Turner shit. Man, sit your ass down. That's how I feel about it, man. I'm serious, man. That's how I
Hey,
feel
look.
about that, man. You basically gonna say, but you be the first one. What you? I mean, it's one thing to listen to somebody, man. Anybody can get checked, man, woman, or child, man. That's how I perceive it. There's nobody above reproach. No
Now
one.
this man got up on video and said that he was trying to be mindful of how the women were representing themselves in this space. He said he had no issues. This is on TMZ. He had no issues with women twerking if it's in a nightclub because that's the time and the place. But in a space like this where it's out of place and this ain't the time, he had an issue with how they were representing themselves. So this narrative that we follow, where we say protect black women, but as soon as you have a guy, and I've been in these positions, you've been in these positions where you'll tell women things that would, benefit them and protect them, not just protect them physically, but protect their image. They take that as some oppressive black male patriarchal gesture.
Man, look, I'm
You
tired of
understand what
man.
I'm
Look,
saying?
yeah, I get it. I'm just
So
man. Look, I'm so tired of this bullshit. This shit makes no sense, man. This is not even news.
no,
I mean, it is news, but it's stupid news, man. Black people, man, are so behind culturally. We're talking about the defense of patriarchy. I mean, well, not patriarchy, but the defense of twerking. Twerking is resistance now. So you mean on a plantation, which is what we essentially exist on right now to this very day, twerking on the plantation is fucking liberatory of some kind. Shaking your ass in front of the masses' face or somebody else's faces, that's liberatory,
that's where we are.
which is absolutely ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
It's
that's
it's
that's
it's, it's fucking insane. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's stupid shit.
yeah, that's what we've devolved to the point where like yo, like no matter I had to ask homeboy, I said, how far do you have to go Like how far do black women have to go to where we are allowed to check them?
There's no way you can check black women. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to let them vent. Because they God. They ain't God, they God.
You know, how far how far how far? How
Hey,
far?
look, man, look. Look. I got two daughters, man. And look, if they start talking some bullshit, they start being on some bullshit, I'm gonna let them know. Bottom line. Bottom
So I
line.
had a girl jump in the post. She said, you know, she had a very different approach to what I was saying. She said that she appreciates black men who know how to tell black women when they're fucking up.
It
Cause she,
needs to be done. Shit. I mean, like, look, ain't no way in the world you can have a one-sided situation where a woman can do anything she can to a man, anything she wants, and the man just has to sit there and withstand it quietly and humbly. What type of bullshit is that? Like, what planet is this? Who's creating these rules? Where are these norms coming from? They
well, we
ain't
know
coming
that
from black culture.
we know where they're
That's not
coming.
a black cultural norm.
We know where they're coming from.
That's not a black cultural norm. It's not an African norm at all.
No.
It's not an African. It's a white European feminist norm. Is what that shit
Yes.
is.
Absolutely.
That's what this shit is, man. Now, if you want to say you want to ride with white feminism, just go ahead and say it. That's what you own. That's what you own. But
Well,
that shit.
they speak all the language.
Hmm?
They speak all the language. If you listen to them talk long enough, they use all the code words and they speak all the language, and they'll tell you that, oh nah, I don't follow that because they don't support us or whatever. But you use all their code words. You use all their code language. You can't use the code language of a given philosophy or whatever, and then try to pass it off as original. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Toxic masculinity, all this other shit. Like, you can't say these things and then say, well, nah, we came up with that.
No, because that's some bullshit. There is no such thing as toxic masculinity.
No.
There is no such thing. And look, I did a show on this the other day. Anybody who's watching, man, go back to the Green Gorilla channel and watch the show I did on toxic masculinity. You need to check that out. So ultimately, toxic
Shameless
masculinity.
plug. Shameless plug right there.
Yeah,
Right
well, no,
there.
I'm not trying,
I'm
but
fucking with you, bro. I'm fucking
it's
with
just for your info, But
you. Yeah,
like,
check it out. Check
but
that
yeah,
out, man.
toxic masculinity, man, to me doesn't exist. Are males able to exhibit toxicity in specific environments or in specific instances? Yes, as anyone on the planet.
Yeah.
Look. Also, this is what I'm beginning to realize. I'm beginning to realize that black people truly, really, and truly have a slave morality. Even though they claim they have a liberatory philosophy and an orientation, we have a slave morality. Our morality is predicated on virtue and righteousness. It's not predicated upon power or nobility or
Yeah.
agency. Our norms are situated on a Christian ethics, and the things we say, our axiology, is undergirded by that Christian morality, but it's not the kind that white people abide by. Because white people use conquest with their Christianity. We use supplication and what's the meekness, humility, and waiting for the afterlife for ours. These people are different than us, man. We have a different
So
set of rules and norms.
so
It,
let's address this though, because what I don't want to do, because again, this is a very specific situation where, like I said earlier, this is all black people, right? So what I want to address and what I want to ask you is, because I feel like it's like, my other live, your way ain't working. We celebrate a lot of dysfunctional shit in our culture. You know what I'm saying? Me and you have had debates about, hood niggas, this, that, and the other. But here we have, right, in our culture, we have, like we already spoke about, the idea that you can't challenge black women. But the other thing that's underlying here is, the hate for this man who built a business, and he's still regarded as, like Tom Curry would call him, the man not. Like he's still regarded as a, a subordinate, like these women in a space that a black man owns ignored requests. So again, because we know that they would not do the same in another space, they wouldn't do the same in an Asian space, they wouldn't do the same in an Indian or Pakistani space, they wouldn't do the same in a white space, because likely
They
doing
get
this in
arrested.
those spaces would result. Let me say it. They would result in consequences. You know what I'm saying? We've seen Asians beat black women over their heads for acting up in their shit. We've seen it, right?
Yeah,
Multiple
yeah.
times. Beat the shit out of black women for acting up in their shit. So, in this black man space, and these women did what they did because they know where they were. They know that this shit was black owned. They know where they were. And they knew that they could do shit and ignore directives and nothing would happen to them. It's just like the same as when cops shoot black people or do shit to black people in front of cameras, right? So these black women, they knew that they could do what they were doing in that space, and they did not have to respect this man. And not only would it not be looked down upon in our culture, but it wouldn't be looked down upon in the greater society. So what I'm trying to what this is what I want you to speak on. So because I've been told that these issues, when I speak of these issues, I'm putting down black folks in our culture. What I want to ask is, if you are a progressive black man and you want to build a business within the community or the hood or whatever you want to call it. I don't think the two are the same thing, but if you want to build something for your people, how do you do that for your people and not deal with these types of things?
Beat them up.
Well, you can't beat up black women because we know how that works.
Oh, you can send them on. Well, I'm just saying, like, not beat them, send them to jail, man.
He
Put the
said
motherfuckers in
beat them
jail.
up.
Like, I mean,
Hold up.
seriously, like people, like, I've had arguments with you, like about black culture or whatever, and I don't think black culture is inherently, I don't think black people are inherently evil.
No,
Uh,
of course not.
but the problem is, like, if some little dudes was in my restaurant, man, and them little dudes start doing some shit like smoking a blunt or something, right? I would kindly tell them little dudes, you got to get the fuck up out of my restaurant, bro. You have to leave. If you don't leave, it's gonna be a problem. Okay, it's gonna be a problem.
But that's an easy fix. I'm talking about, see, to
Black
put
women, I don't care. Like for men, I don't know why black men have this reverence for black women. Like I, I just don't understand it, man. Like they're human beings, bro. They're not gods. They're not goddesses. They're not queens. They're not mother nymphs, fairies. They're not godmothers. They're like human beings. And if they do some ignorant shit, then they got to get the fuck out. Bottom line, if they don't get the fuck out, then guess what? Okay, so look, I would have, like, if I had a restaurant like that, I had a police there anyway. Bottom line, I would. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
that,
But
that sounds that sounds nice in theory, but let me ask you this, right?
I would have the police. If you got a restaurant and you got a crowd in that motherfucker and you playing hip hop music and you serving drinks, come on, man, you gotta have the police, bro.
I mean,
This
you
basic.
can,
That's basic
but
101, man. That's business 101, bro.
I don't. But see, that this is the thing, bro.
And yeah,
If
you
I
you
if I
shouldn't need
gotta
the police, but you do need them. I
no,
mean,
but
like, and not even the police, but what would I say? Not even the police, just security, bro.
no, that's all well and good. But listen to the point that I'm making, right?
But don't force my point, though. Don't force my point.
No, 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 no. Listen to the point that I'm making, right? Because I'm not saying that what you're saying is incorrect. What I'm saying is this, right? Let's, you could have security, you could have police and all of that shit, right?
Because you
What
can't
I'm
force them out yourself. You can't put your hands on them and say,
that's not what I'm getting at. What
okay,
I'm talking about culture right now. I'm not talking about, well, what do you do in the in the event that some shit like this happens, or to prevent whatever. What I'm saying is these are the types of things that discourage people from wanting to build shit in the community for us. Because when these things happen, right? When these things happen, let's say you had police and these girls got arrested, or let's say you had security grab them and throw them out, right? That still doesn't remove you from the backlash to come from the idea that these women were disrespected. So what I'm saying is, if you a progressive black person that wants to build business and build some fancy shit or some nice ambiance for your people to enjoy, if the comeback for that is going to be not only that you're going to be disrespected and violated, but anything you do in response to that thing will not be acceptable, then what it removes the incentive to build a business in the community and for your people. Do you understand where I'm getting at
I
now?
get it, but I would. It's one incident. The dude had his business open for.
No, it's not one incident, bro.
Well, I'm talking about his business, right? Or did he have
Well,
multiple instances of motherfuckers twerking?
in his business, in reference to him, it might be one incident. I don't know what's happened with
That's
him
what I'm
before.
saying. So
But
I'm saying
fam,
his business, one twerking incident, but for the most part, his business is usually incident free. So I mean, this is an anomalous situation where you got a group of women who were feeling themselves, and they probably were drunk, and they decided to you know be tasteless and to start to do some shit in
but
that environment. It was
bro,
tasteless.
this sort of thing is not isolated. Listen to what I'm
I'm
saying.
saying in his restaurant it was.
No, in his restaurant, but listen to the point. I'm making a greater point. It's not about him, the women there, and the restaurant. This is about when you build shit in the community for your people. Like his speech that he made on this video was, look, I invested money in this so I can create a nice space for my people. Okay, so aside from this isolated, this one particular situation, what I'm talking about is bigger than this. What I'm talking about is the problem that that sort of thing is discouraged by the fact that your reaction to some bullshit will not be supported as acceptable no matter what your approach would be. So whether you had, again, security, this and that and the other, it wouldn't matter. How many spots, come on, let's keep it real, do you see black people open in the community that get shut down or robbed or attacked or whatever for one reason or another, because black people come and they build something in the community with the intention of making the hood or the black community a better place, and then that shit get ruined. And when it happens, right, because we just had a situation where you had the black guy that owned the bar. Now his shit was saved, or he was saved through a GoFundMe campaign, right? But his shit was torn apart. I don't know if you heard about this. This guy had a bar and his
During the
shit was torn
riots
apart.
and
Huh?
during the riots
Yeah, during the riots, he had like a sports bar.
in Oregon.
I don't know if it was in Oregon.
Yeah, I think it might have been a bar or something. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So, okay, so this guy's shit was torn apart, right? So when I spoke on it, you know what motherfuckers told me? Well, what did he give back to the community?
Yeah.
What did he contribute to the community? Did he give back? Did he support the community? Let me ask you something, bro. We all know that the majority of businesses in black neighborhoods are not black businesses. What do the Italian man or the Asian man or the Pakistani man or the Arab man, what the fuck do they give back to the community for their uh, you know, ability to operate in a black occupied residential area?
No, nothing.
Nothing. So why is it that when again, all of these shits that I'm addressing is internal black culture bullshit. So a black man opens a business in his neighborhood for his people because, you know, if you do that shit outside the community, you're a sellout. My question is, if you open this business in your community and niggas ransack your shit,
Then
the
it's gonna be a
first
lot
thing
of slow
people
singing and flower bringing if my burglar alarm starts ringing. What you think all the guns is for? C4 to your door, no beef, no more.
so look, my
I'm just
question
saying,
is,
like, look, I'm telling you right now,
I understand that's what you do,
black
but
people don't respect shit, but like, especially from other black people, they'll respect white people because they're trying to impress white people.
but but
Black
but but
people
you,
aren't trying to impress each other.
I want you to answer my question though. This is the question that I'm
I just
asking.
answered it.
No,
You
no,
think
no,
I'm
no,
joking?
no,
You think
no,
I'm
no, no,
playing?
no, no, no. You're answering the wrong thing. Listen, I want to ask you again so you understand what I'm asking you because I said a whole lot. What is the incentive?
There is no incentive.
Okay,
Okay, so like,
let's
because we all know how Negroes are, man. We know this. I mean, like sometimes black people are a little rambunctious and they get a little boisterous.
so
And they get a little bit of, fancy free. And they
so I
start
got
doing things, they start feeling comfortable and shit. You know what
I
I'm saying?
got
Especially
a comment. It's been on the screen for a while from Origins of Man. You have to separate. We have to change the culture. And
but you're not you look, you can't separate yourself from the United States. And I get that. I get it. I understand the sentiment. But here's the reality. You change like, how do you change the culture? You don't change the culture through convincing and
no,
rational debate. You
no,
change the
no,
culture.
of course
First
not.
of all, the answer to your question is simple. There is none. Okay, so that's the answer to the question. Like if you want like a more profound answer about that, there is no incentive. Open your shit up elsewhere. Don't open, and if you do open it up, don't open it up in the hood. And also though, I know many men that have like businesses in the hood, and they're respected though because motherfuckers know that if they violate their business, it's gonna be a problem. Like
Well,
real
I mean,
talk.
but we
I'm
know
being
what those
real, man. I'm being honest when I
we
say
know
this.
what those businesses are. Most of the businesses that don't have problems in the hood, we know what those businesses are. It's the typical businesses.
What businesses am I talking about, Marcus?
Okay, let's run the gamut. Okay, we talking about the barbershop. The
Okay.
barbershop hardly got an issue. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Because most of these shits be sometimes they be fronts.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah,
But
sometimes.
usually these businesses that we talking about are not. I mean, they're typical hood establishment. They're not aiming to be upscale, right? They don't aim to be, you know, you know, giving the
You
black
can't
people.
give Negroes upscale shit, bro. Not well, you can, but
This,
you just can't do it,
it's
bro.
that's fucked up though.
You
And
got to
I
give
understand. Look,
upscale niggas upscale shit. I'm just being
it,
honest, bro.
no, no,
You
no, no,
can't.
no.
You
Listen,
can't.
I'm right with you.
You can't. It's just. I mean, I know I sound like but I'm from the trap anyway. So look. But the assumption is that guys from the trap are just disrespectful, and they really actually aren't. But there are a few knuckleheads who fuck it up for everybody else. And these knuckleheads, man,
But see, this is the thing, right? Let's say and it's funny. Metaphor. He mentioned DC and Atlanta. Now, this is the thing, right? You talking about like let's say a high upper echelon black existence, like let's say Prince George's County, Maryland, right? And I'm sure Meta's familiar with that. Let's say you build something in Prince George's County. For the most part, and like even this situation we're talking about, I don't know how long this dude's been in business, but I'm sure he's been in business long enough to where he's played hip hop music in this spot and nobody jumped on shit to dance, right? Like it hasn't happened before, right? Unless somebody gonna come out and tell us different. It hadn't happened before, right? So, the thing is, he said these goofies will be deterred from a high end spot in PG. So, but dig, Meta, rock with me on this one, right? So check it out, right? So let's say you do that. You open some shit. You could go a whole year or maybe two without one of these types of incidents, but all that has to happen, all that has to happen is one female or somebody cousin or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Here, juvenile back that ass up and climb up on the table. All it takes is for it to happen once. Right now, we're sitting here talking about a one-shot deal that happened at this upper echelon restaurant. This guy could have been in business for 2-3 years. I don't know. But the one incident that where this shit happened, we're here talking about it. So all it takes is for that one time for this to happen, and then the motherfucker say, "Oh, this nigga canceled. He shouldn't talk to black women that way. He canceled. Now we
He
don't
ain't
eat there no
canceled. Is
more."
his business done? Is it through?
Look, this shit happened the other day. I don't know.
His
Listen.
business ain't like it's like people stop going.
Look,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
have
don't
people made pledges to cancel his business?
I
You know
don't
what I'm
have
saying?
the update. Like at the
Yeah,
end
we
of
got
the
to look at
day,
that though. You know, like,
yeah, we that's something that we gotta
but mostly it's
revisit.
highbrows niggas talking about this shit, man. Like most niggas ain't even worried about it. It ain't even on their radar. You know what I'm saying? But like, but I get your point. And you know, this is what I would say to that brother though, man. I'd say, you know, you did right to me. You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers violating your business, they got to go, bro. You know what I'm saying? And for the simp dudes that, you know, they have to love black women throughout any fuckery that they commit. Well, you
He
know, just
said
kill yourself, nigga.
son doing Iron Man numbers right now.
He probably, he balling, man. He good, man. He just had a couple of ratchets come to the spot, and they ain't know where they were, and they ain't got no home training, and
These niggas is
they
moist.
they grew up with Big Mama, and they ain't, Big Mama couldn't control them. She was tired. Mama was, too busy smoking meth
Yeah, they
rock.
calling grandma my mama.
Yeah, and they call her Mama. Well, they don't even call
They
her.
call her by her first name.
Right.
That's what they call her. Like Sharon, they be their mama, be their biological mama. They call her first name like that's their sister. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, but again, like, it's just crazy to me that this type of behavior is being made synonymous with, black culture by black people. It's one thing when you got white people saying, "Well, this is how these niggas act," but you got black people that are taking anyone that has an issue with this and saying, "This is what you have to expect if you turn on music. This is the type of behavior that you are to expect for turning on music. If you play this music, you should not be surprised that niggas climb on your furniture in a restaurant."
Come on, man. Like,
And this is black people talking. This ain't white
man,
folks.
come on,
This
man.
ain't
Like, let's
Stormfront, the
just be
KK.
honest,
This ain't
man.
none
Like,
of that.
bruh,
This ain't none of that.
you already know what this is, bro. You know it's this is pandering, bro. This all that shit is pandering, bro. It is what it is. It's pandering. You know what it is. But I mean, you can go off on it, man. Like that's why I stopped talking to dude, man. On Facebook, man, I just stopped responding to dude. I don't even look at
But
his shit no more.
but even the women, but bro, when you listen, when it's male fuckery, these arguments aren't made.
I know, I get
Well,
it.
these arguments aren't made when now mind you, when it's dudes, oh, we throw niggas away. We say, oh, you know, oh, he's a monster, right? Now, and I've been guilty of that. Now,
Yeah, you
there's
have
dudes
been.
out.
Yes, you have been.
Well, there's dudes out there that are monsters, right? Now, if you give me a narrative, cool. But if you give me, a motherfucker that has history of being a monster, then I'm gonna call him that, right? But my point is, you can't then turn around and say, well, the reason this happened was because you're creating a rationale. You're rationalizing. You say, well, It's like when women, fuck underage boys and do all the other fuck shit they do. Well, when she was a child, she was touched, and you're creating a rationale for this behavior. Nobody creates rationale for men. Nobody does that.
Oh, we know that.
Okay, so
We
again,
know that.
whether it was that or like I said, the sad idea, because my biggest problem with this whole thing is that the fact that this man wants to run a respectable business means that he's trying
Man,
to be white.
let a nigga get his car fucked up by one of these motherfuckers, and then they'll be the first motherfucker to be like, man, fuck that
But what
bitch.
what I'm saying is now listen to what I'm saying now.
Come on, man, keep it real.
Him
Let a woman
asking,
fuck up his tires, slash his tires or some shit. He'd be the first one going off on a motherfucker.
oh, of course, but
The hell with all that black nationalism, all that shit. He'd be
it
like, oh,
has to happen to him. But my thing is, a man, like, the general energy and narrative that I'm getting from guys who, defend this is that you trying to be white because you want motherfuckers to act civilized. But like
that's some bullshit.
civilization or
You know
being
it. You already made the argument about that, man. Black people, man, were the authors of civilization. And no, they weren't twerking on. They had rituals where they would dance. They didn't just spontaneously dance anywhere, start shaking their fucking asses in front of people's face. That's not culture. It's not resistance against politics. It changes nothing. It does nothing. I'm just being honest. Like, I mean, you want to know my opinion about it? I'm telling you. Like, but right now, everybody's caught up into this black girl magic shit, which is some bullshit in and of itself. It is. Uh, I mean, I got two daughters, man. I love them to death, but I never held them. Like my daughter used to do jujitsu, right? And one day she was crying and shit, like, and I just sat there and I looked at her. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, fuck all that crying. I would if I had a son, I wouldn't be in there like, oh, poor son. I'd be like, get your ass in there and fight, motherfucker. I mean, am I wrong? Wouldn't you? Like, I'm just being
I mean,
honest.
listen, no, absolutely.
So I did the same shit with my daughter. I was like, get your ass back in there and go and get it. Ain't no time for crying right now. Right now, I'm telling you, knock her ass out or his ass out. That's what I'm telling you to do right now. We can cry
See,
later. You
I
got to do
want
what you got to do now. I don't give a fuck about all this soft crying ass bullshit. Let me tell you what this is all predicated upon, because I'm about to get inflamed. All of this is predicated upon notions of white womanhood. That's all this shit is. Ultimately, it all draws back to whiteness. So if somebody tells you that, okay, well, you can't tell black women this or that, it's because they're upholding a notion about preserving the sanctity of what they know womanhood to be. But actually, it all is predicated upon a white notion of womanhood.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me speak on that, and I want to also address.
But I got to bounce in about 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, so I want to address what you said. I want to address what Adam said that I have on the screen right now. Okay, um, the white womanhood thing. This is the thing, though. Um, white women ain't challenging their men like this. They're not doing it. Like you have a
I mean, they
white.
are in their own way to a certain extent. Yeah.
They make noise. They whine. If a white man got an establishment and white women are acting up in that motherfucker, white man show up and say what it is, they do what it is.
But
What white
Marcus,
now I've seen white women in action. What white women do is they whine, trying to reason or pull at the heartstrings of white men. That's what they do. They don't challenge or fight white men. They try to get white men to sympathize with them.
not all the time. I mean, some of these motherfuckers hardcore, bro. Like say for
The
example,
gay ones, but not
Amber
not the
Heard.
not the not yeah the gay ones. Not, well, you talking about an abuse a white woman that's abusive in her
No,
relationship.
even I
I'm
mean,
talking.
but I put it all together though, Marcus, because like, look, um, so here's my guess on this, man. Here's the reality, bro. There's a pecking order in the black community. You know what it is. It is an order that's predicated upon women running shit, and it's you know what it is, man. It's the gynocracy, dog. You know, it is. This is what I'm gonna talk about tomorrow. It's plantation politics, bro, as usual. And men have been trained, black men particularly, have been trained to kowtow to it, to accept it, and to
Oh,
enforce it, to adopt it, and to make sure that its precepts remain true. It is what it is.
so let
Like,
me let me.
but I don't abide by that bullshit, man. I never
No,
have.
of course not.
You know what I'm
Let me.
saying? Like now I will show women respect if they respect me. But as soon as you disrespect me, you're just another a Negro to me. You're just another black skinned body.
Now look. Let me address some of these guys in the comments. All right. So Meta, what I want you to understand is I'm not challenging you saying that white women won't fight. I'm talking about collectively. You're talking about in incidents. I'm talking about collectively, but as Adam Williams said, white men put the hammer down on their women. It's a different thing. White men put hits out on their wives. They put hits out on their wives. You know what I'm saying? They get their wives murdered. Bitch would disappear. That's the difference between black men and white men. All right. As a collective group, white women negotiate or attempt to negotiate with their men. They do not fight their men like black women do. Okay, you hear white women are whining and complaining and about what they're not getting or it's unfair and that's not what black women do.
No,
Because the difference between white women and black women is white women need or they at least perceive that they need their men. Black women are in
because
position
white women actually do
they
understand that
actually
they white women know that they need their men. They do
yeah
know it. They
it's
actually do need them, but black women don't need us. See, that's the
black women do
difference.
not need us for their
That's the
progression.
difference.
They can do everything in this world to build and improve and progress their lives without ever dealing with black men. They do not have to cross our paths. Now, something else I want to speak on is what what's his name? He said every group has standards of what's acceptable and what's not. Oh, and yeah, my homie Akilla saying he doesn't care where women twerk at. He was mad they got put out. Like men are offended that these women, like it's like heresy. It's like blasphemy that these women will put out. And yeah, man. So you know,
Hey man, look, if the it's his restaurant, it's his fucking standards, man.
absolutely.
Simple. Bottom line. And if look, you got to let these guys know, man. Like I haven't been looking at Facebook regularly lately, so I don't know. But I kind of like, especially that guy. I kind of like just got off his shit because, he on some New Jack Hotep shit, and it's just like some of the shit he's saying like is just impractical. You know what I'm saying? Like it just like he's reading a lot of books and shit, and those books are cool, but like the real world is the real world, man. Like the real world is like this, man.
Now
Uh,
I only got a few more minutes with you, right?
yeah, yeah.
So I don't want to end this abruptly. Yeah, this guy says white women fight their men through their proxy, the black woman. That's the statement right there. That is the statement right there. To be honest, white women fight masculinity through black women because they can't fight their men, so they gas up black women to fight us because we black women are white women's outlet to really doing proper damage to any sort of perception of masculinity or patriarchy because they can't do it in their shit.
But even black women can't do it for real because they rely on, look, at the end of the day, they all rely on the police, bro. After all this twerking shit is done, motherfucker, if you get your head knocked in, who you gonna call? You gonna call a dude. Bottom line, you calling some man somewhere. If
Yeah,
something
well,
happens
yeah.
to you, you have no recourse other than to call a man. It is what it is. This is nature, man. These motherfuckers cannot defy nature, bro. It is what it is. You
Yeah.
can't defy nature. It is what
No, of
it
course not.
is.
Of
You
course
know what I'm
not.
saying? So I mean, you know, they could a million gazillion 100,000 times, man, try to engage in some shit and try to prevent, you know, themselves from being subjected to X, Y, and Z. They can come up with a million 100,000 norms. They can come up with a million 100,000 ways of thinking how shit is not fair to them and how they've been subjected to wrongdoing by means of the patriarchy or some other social practice that prevents them from being able to do what they consider to be their own will.
So
Which
did
which but the reality is, even but I understand black women are used. They're utilized in order to advance white women's interests. This is nothing but plantation mammy shit.
nah,
I,
nah, nah, yeah, nah, definitely.
it's
I wanna,
plantation mammy shit, bro.
I want to sum this up because I just want to revisit the points. So the points is number one, we already what you said, what you just said is factual. What you just said is factual. You know, this is you know, proximal to white female patriarchy. You got black women who feel as though they don't have to even obey black male authority in a black male space because this is a black male space we're talking about. Secondly, we have the issue, and I'm just summarizing everything that's wrong with this situation. Secondly, you have this black man who built this space that's being ostracized and demonized because somehow not only is he betraying black women, but he's betraying black people by being an aspiring white man by starting a business. Forget the fact that he opened this business for black people playing black music in a black community. He's aspiring to be a white man because he doesn't allow black people to be their natural nigger selves in his space. You understand? And that's air quotes on that, right? So like you said before we got on, there's this like hate for successful black men, because we could talk about black women being educated all day, but there's this low, lightweight, not so low key, not so lightweight hate for any sort of black male progression, black male success, and black male authority. And that's what all the shit, whether you want to talk about the white feminist component, the black female component, in even these matriarchal minded Negroes, all of this is really about hate for any upward, mobile, progressive, authoritative black men. That's what all of this is pointing to. It's like that picture you see with all the guns pointed at the black man's head with all different labels on them, whether they be the police, the black women, the white women, the this one, or that ones. You know what I'm saying? But GG, has been good to have you on here, man. I know you got a video coming up. What's the name of it?
Oh yeah, I'm doing a video on white women are the patriarchy.
White women are the patriarchy, and
They
that
are the
is
patriarchy,
in
man. Like
direct.
all this shit that you know, look, white women, man, are the quarterback of this shit, bro.
I've been saying
Black
that
women are the
forever.
running backs of this shit,
Been
bro. Like,
saying it
look,
forever.
but
So
I
when I
said, I
see,
said, I said this shit a
mm-hmm.
long time ago. I put out like a video, and on that video, man, I kind of had like an analysis, like who, like, what is the root of the problem? Is the name of the video, right? And in essence, this is a system. It's not one person playing, man. You're playing a team of, you're playing a team. You know what I'm saying? This is why, and you can look at the individual actors, but you would make a mistake to look at them as individuals because they're playing a team sport. They all have a modus operandi, and it's all predicated upon your subjugation. You are the lowest man on the totem pole.
So
It just is what it is. You are the
check
lowest man on the totem pole, man.
check this out. Before we go, people, I would love for everybody to hit that like button. Like everybody else say, I'm gonna say it too. Hit that like button. We got 12 people in here watching. I got 7 likes. I need to get them likes up. Not only that, if you're not already following me, hit the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? I got more to come. I got more crazy shit coming. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, just add the kid, man. I got a lot more to say, and yo, I appreciate the GG for joining me, man. The Green Gorilla, the G with PhD. You know what I'm
Oh man,
saying?
for
For
sure,
bringing
bro. For
bringing
sure.
bringing some light over here.
Yeah,
You know
show
what I
Marcus,
mean?
show my man some love, man. Give him some clicks, bro. You know what
And
I'm saying?
yeah, I'll be on that live with I'll be on that live with GG, man. You know, we're gonna be talking about how the white women are the patriarchy, because, you know, I've been, you know, I'm in these Facebook groups where I see these black dudes promoting white women as some sort of, you know, relief pitchers for black men, and I don't believe it. You know, you might escape, you might, you know, get a little less of what you're used to getting with black women, but white women come with their own problems, and they're not on your side. They're not. So
Yeah, they the quarterbacks of this here, man. Like
you know what I
you know,
mean?
I
They
can't.
they have always been the problem since slavery. Since slavery, you know, you want to ask Emmett Till how great white women are. So thanks, brother. I appreciate this, man. Let's do it again. You know what I'm saying, on our Bill Cosby, Sidney Poitier, and yo, shout out to, you know, Adam Williams, Meta, you know, everybody in the chat, Orange is a Man, you know, everybody in there, man. You know, thanks
Peace out,
for
y'all, man. Y'all be good, man.
yeah, thanks for jumping in my chat, man. Add me, man. You know, we gonna do this again. I got, you know, some more things coming. So GG, do your thing, and
Yeah,
we
I gotta
gonna
go get the
end this.
groceries, bro. I gotta go pick up some groceries, man.
Yeah, man.
Gotta eat to live, man.
You know, go go
Elijah Muhammad,
go go to
man.
go to go to the high end black supermarket.
Oh man, you know you ain't got them though. You know that we don't even have those. When you ever heard of one of those?
You know what I'm saying? Just don't dance on the tip.
Negroes got bars and grills and shit. See,
Mm-hmm.
this, before I leave, let me just say this, man. The least successful business that you can invest in is a bar and grill, a restaurant.
Yeah.
That's the least profit bearing and the least successful business that you could ever invest in. Steer clear of that, man. Look, if you want to be upscale, don't buy vodka. Don't put your money in the eateries and liquor. Start trying to invest in tech, man. That's the future, bro. Technology, man. Coding. Learning how to, work with these logical systems. That's where the bread is, man. Black men need to pick something that they're going to be good at. Besides basketball, football, and baseball. And trapping and shit.
Hey man, something maybe that's what they good at, bro. But
you
yeah, man.
know, so
NJ
I'll see y'all,
Progressive
man.
Indie. Yeah, thanks for the like Progressive Indie, and yeah, peace Ryan Jackson. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go, man. I don't want you to miss
Yeah, I
your
got to get my
romaine
delivery,
lettuce.
man. Special delivery.
You know what I'm
I'm starting
saying?
to do. I'm
So
starting to do the Harlem Shake because I'm about to get the special delivery.
no
Doo,
doubt.
doo. All
No
right.
doubt. So
All
yo,
right.
100 people.
Peace
100.
out.
Peace.